In part 3 of our self-portraits with the hidden pockets to review ourselves, we are going to talk about the inside part with all of the words, the description that kind of talks about who you are and gives people information about yourself. So you can see it looks a little bit more interesting when we change it up a little bit and we maybe add some bubble letters. So I'm going to talk about how you can do some bubble letters if you haven't done that before, and how you can kind of add some more design to your artwork. So the first thing that I did is I just grabbed some scrap paper, or at least just a different piece of paper than my portrait, so that I don't mess that up. I want to do a little bit of practice first. What I did is I put a few words over here that might be good for my portrait. So you can make a list of words that describe who you are, and you want them to be words that maybe are just like one word. You don't want like a lot of really long, like I'm good at blah blah blah, right? Just think of a description that, and if you don't know what to put, you could go ask some family members for some ideas. So I have a list of about 7 things here, and maybe just choose 3 or 4 so that your paper isn't too overly crowded. Okay, now on my practice paper, I'm gonna use pencil sometimes and use Sharpie sometimes, and I will tell you why I'm changing. So I'm gonna do the word goofy to start with, and I'm going to basically just write the letter like I normally would. So here's my normal G, and I'm gonna make another G exactly like it right next to it, slightly larger. So you can see I'm kind of going right along it. So it's a G surrounded by a G, and now I'm just going to connect these 2 open ends, and when I do that, it turns it into that bubble. Same thing, my next letter is an O. So if you want to overlap these, you can kind of pretend you would put that O there, but then don't, right? And make your O, and then another one inside. So you can decide if you like overlapping or if you like to leave the space. So the next letter is the letter F, and I'm going to do this with a pencil, but I think you'll still be able to see it. So I'm still going to make my F like normal, and then I'm going to make another F right next to it. And you can see I have all this crossing over right here, and I'm going to erase that part in the middle. That's why I wanted to use a pencil instead of a Sharpie for that. So I'm going to go just around the outside edges now to get those lines. And then I'm going to erase that stuff in the middle. It's not necessary. You can leave it if you want, but not necessary. And then a Y. So the Y might be kind of the same. I might have lines that you don't want. So for the Y, I'm going to leave a little bit of space right here so I don't have any overlapping. So when you're making bubble letters, it just kind of gives you time to think if you go slow or try with a pencil first. So I did that one kind of different. Let's move on to another one. Let's do calm, since it's a short word. So if you want to kind of change the style, right, these all have like kind of sharp corners, right angles where they turn. But if you want to try to make them a little bit softer when you're making your letters, so I'm going to kind of try to do this all in one motion. So I know how to draw the letter C, and I'm just going to go back, and instead of going straight here, I'm going to go like with a curve. So there's my C, and again, I'm just going to like try to do the outside line of the A. So this is a great time for you to practice if you don't want to try it this way. There's my A. L is pretty easy. L, and then for the M, I think I can do this with a Sharpie. Let's see. That M looks funny. I wish I had done a pencil so then I would have gone all the way down. So give your bubble letters a try. You can see in my example there's some that I didn't do with bubble letters, so instead I did just some designs around them to make them stand out and make them more interesting. So an easy way to do that, let's do helpful. An easy way to do that is maybe just leave a little bit of extra space between your letters than you normally would. And then you can kind of add lines on the end of all of your letters. And that extra space just kind of makes sure there's plenty of room to do all of that. You could use different kinds of lines to go around to kind of make that stand out more, so it takes up the same kind of space almost as the bubble letters without doing bubble letters. You might notice that when I did my word smart, I put a light bulb next to it. So feel free to, kind of make this your own. So like maybe this goofy like turns into like a silly face or something. So make it yours. Turn your words into something fun to help kind of describe who you are and show us more about yourself. And when you're done practicing, you feel free to put them in here. And again, I would start with a pencil, right? Always good to err on the side of caution. And when you add your words, make sure that they are completely hidden from our front view. So what I did is I took a pencil and just made a little mark where the fold goes, so that when I open it up, I can see I'm going to stay in between those two spaces, so that is completely hidden. So you guys can go ahead and start working on that, and then if there's any other things that you need to catch up on or work on, like if you haven't designed your mask yet, you can do that. Or if you have things in your portrait that not everybody has, like glasses, you could add those, things like braces, earrings, freckles, stuff like that that's unique to you. Make sure you get those things in there too so that they do look like you.